Hey guys, it's Zhou with Century 21 Heritage Group and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so today's video is going to be pretty different than the rest of my videos. My other videos are super clear, direct, straight to the point, tips, tricks, whatever. This one's gonna be more relaxed, vlog type style, and we're going to be talking about what it's really like being a real estate agent. I got this idea just because, you know, I think when chatting with some of my other clients, they think, some of them thought that being a real estate agent, we still come into the office like 9 to 5, like we have to be there and we're off weekends and stuff like that. And it's really not the case. I really and mainly want to create this for newer agents that are, you know, in the process of getting their license or, you know, people that are thinking about getting into real estate. I think it's super important to know kind of what you're, you know, really getting into. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but yeah, I wish that I had, you know, seen a video like this when I was getting into it, just so I was kind of prepared. Because for me, when I was getting my license, you know, I knew people in the business that were newer as well, but I just had an idea of what it would be. But I had no idea what it would take to kind of get there, sort of thing. And the journey of, you know, being a real estate agent has been absolutely incredible. I think if you are thinking about getting, you know, into the real estate industry, getting your license, or, you know, if you are a newer agent, congrats to you. It's an absolute incredible business to be in. We get to help people, you know, I wouldn't say every single day, but we get to help people with, you know, something so important to them. Like, it's the biggest asset of, you know, usually their entire life, and we get to be there for them. You know, we're that person. So we really do play such an important role, and I definitely don't take it for granted. I'm super blessed, you know, to be doing what I do, and I'm super happy to be able to help the people that I've helped, and, you know, all the more to come. And yeah, so I think if you're getting into the business, hats off to you. It's again, it's an incredible business to be in. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to chat with you guys today. And I also wanted to do a little bit of a mukbang. I don't think, though, I will be eating a lot on video, because it's kind of hard. I don't know how people do it, actually. When people do mukbangs, it's really just all about the food, right? But I'm a huge foodie, and I will show you what I got. I don't think this is the right angle for it. It's pizza. Okay, anyways, it's from Livetto in Aurora. It's the fungi pizza. I hope I'm saying that right. I know people are gonna come for me. They're gonna DM me or message me like, you're pronouncing it wrong. But anyways, it's essentially pizza with mushrooms and arugula. And I love it. It's really good. We've also got our pineapple buble here. It was blurry, but it's okay. Obviously, I've never done anything like this. Okay, so let's just get right into it because I'm hungry. So I guess just to give a little bit of background about me, I've been in the business for about 4 years. I specialize in pre-construction and resale. I work in the GTA and outside of the GTA in you know, certain areas. So I would say the first 2 years are, obviously you can see I already ate some. Yeah, the first 2 years are going to be really important for you just to really get organized, you know, set the foundation, kind of get the momentum going. Momentum is a real thing, by the way. Like, once you get into the momentum, it feels really good. Like, you're constantly busy, and you know, you're constantly helping people. Opportunities are showing up. Like, it's magical, I'm telling you. But yeah, the first 2 years for me anyway, it was a lot of legwork, a lot of figuring out, you know, what I want to specialize in, what I want to do, what kind of agent I wanted to be, right? There's relational and transactional. I'm 100% a relational agent, and I love that. you know, building a personal brand. What kind of personal brand do you want to build? And that ties into, you know, like who you are, who you want to, like what you want to showcase, what do, you know, people want to know you for. And that can show through, you know, your database, social media, and things like that. I think as a newer agent, you really have to get your mindset right. You know, when I first started, I was bombarded with so much information. It did actually paralyze me. I was so scared of moving forward because I didn't know which direction to take. Because the brokerage's job is to obviously offer you as much information as possible, you know, so that you can go out and succeed, right? And for me, I was so bombarded with the social media, with, you know, how am I getting clients? What kind of brand do I want to build? What kind of agent do I want to be? All those things I just listed, it was bombarding me. And I think the number one thing, again, as I just mentioned, is you have to get your mindset right. You will feel like you're being pulled in a million directions. And sometimes, like even till this day, it doesn't stop, right? As you get more busy, you're gonna be pulled because you want to get back to this client and you have to put in an offer and you have to book showings. And even now it's harder because of COVID, you can't double book. Meaning if someone books from 1 to 1:30, you can't book during that time. And that becomes hard when you're trying to line up showings. It's funny, I saw this. I saw this meme, I forget where. I don't know if it was a broke agent or not, but it was pretty much saying, or clients will never know how hard it was to book showings or something like that. Honestly, it was worded better. Anyways, but yeah, you want to get your mindset right because you need to start including, you know, time for you, and that creates structure, right? In the beginning, I felt like I had absolutely no time for me, which was true. I had no time for family, I had no time for friends because I was so honed in on my business. And not, you know, people are gonna see that as a negative thing. I do see that as a negative thing. At the same time, I know that if I didn't do it that way, I wouldn't be kind of where I am now. And I wouldn't have had the success in the second year that I had. So take with that what you will, you know, work around your own schedule, but you have to become structured. You have to have a schedule, and I wouldn't say time block it like to every 30 minutes because things are gonna happen. You're gonna get calls, you're gonna get pulled in this direction. You know, people are gonna call you maybe to do a showing in the evening that you weren't expecting. And if you had, you know, other things planned, well, you either move the showing around or you book them in and you move those things around, right? But really what you wanna do is you want to pick 3 to 5 things that you need to get done in that day. And you do those, you know, 3 to 5 things, right? If you don't get to them all, you know, that's okay. I've had those days and it's okay. You move forward, you schedule for the next day or you schedule it during the week. But you need to schedule time for yourself. I realized that was the most important thing, is that you need to have time for yourself or you're gonna be depleted, and then you'll start resenting the business because you're gonna have people call you all the time, needing this from you, asking you this, and you're just gonna feel again bombarded, depleted, because you're exhausted, right? So the perfect time to get you time in is in the morning, right? So you should get up earlier. Again, not everyone has to agree with me. I know some people that get up at 9 o'clock and absolutely, you know, kill it. So it as long as you get something in for you every single day, you should be good. Real estate too, it's definitely a mental game. And I think the ones that really do succeed are the ones that are always willing to work on themselves. I will say that because real estate is a mental game, it's made me like a million times stronger and a million times more resilient. I adapt to change a lot more quickly now than I would have, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. I adapt to change really quickly. I'm definitely always open to learning. Like, doesn't matter where I am in my career, I'm always open to learning more. I had an agent ask me about mentors. I was gonna do a Q&A, but I guess I'll kind of briefly touch upon it here. But I absolutely think mentors are important no matter where you are in your business. I know, you know, top agents that still have mentors. And, you know, I think it's important never to stop. And it doesn't always have to be real estate related. Like it can be like a life coach or a business coach or a trainer, right? I think when you're learning from anybody that's an expert in their field or in their industry, you have nothing to lose. You have to come in the business, I think, with an open mindset, knowing that, you know, you may have to change things here and there, which is totally fine, right? Because the industry is always changing. I mean, technology is always changing. We have to adapt and we have to change. And in turn, like just adapting to the change creates, you know, helps you create resilience and strength, right? And adaptability. Like those are all, I think, such key important traits just for life, right? I'm trying to think what else. I know I had a conversation with a newer agent, and yeah, and he was just asking me, you know, he actually asked me this specific question, like, what is it like? Like, I know we can set our own, you know, time, like we can set our own schedules. And in my mind, I was like, I mean, yeah, you could, but not really. I mean, yes, you can. I mean, at the end of the day, you can set your own schedule with anything. Like if you're not available, you're not available, right? But at the same time, you are working around your clients, right? So, and you will start questioning yourself a lot, and that's not a bad thing. I think it stresses people out. It stresses me out. It still stresses me out. And what I mean by questioning yourself is you will, you know, you'll think, did I explain this properly? Did I say this okay? Did I deliver the message okay? You know, am I not good enough? You know, how could I have made this better? You know, was there anything that I could have done, you know, for the turnout to become, you know, to be different? You will always ask yourself this question. And the thing is, it doesn't stop, right? I asked myself this in the beginning of my career and it stressed me out a lot. My first year, I barely slept. I lost like 20 pounds because my mind was just running all over the place. I didn't focus on mindset. I didn't focus on, you know, anything. I was just so bombarded and overwhelmed that I pretty much got nowhere. And my second year was when I really honed in on my mindset. And that was the first year I got, you know, my first award. And again, not to go into it that much, you can go on my Instagram and, you know, see things that I've accomplished and stuff like that. Like this video really isn't for that, but you start to question yourself. And again, it's all about how you take those questions that you have, right? Those quote unquote, I guess, like doubts. And in the beginning of my career, I became paralyzed. I just felt like I wasn't good enough, you know, I'm new, I'm whatever. And I just kind of sat there and I didn't do anything with it. But in my second year, there was just like a switch that just flipped in my head where I'm like, you know what, I'm taking these doubts and I'm taking these questions and I'm gonna work on them and I'm gonna change, right? And I think, you know, I've spoken to people that have been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years plus, and they still have these same thoughts. They still leave appointments asking the same questions. Did I say this okay? You know, was my delivery okay? Same thing. Same questions still, right? So just to give you kind of like an insight, I guess, into our head, it doesn't change, right? So, but what does change is how you take those questions and you turn them into something that can obviously benefit you, right? And is good for you. And so now it's like, if I ever feel that way, you know, I take a step back and I'm like, okay, well, how can I improve, right? How can I improve so I don't make this mistake again? You know, how can I be better? I'm still thinking of ways of how I can be better, right? How can I serve people better? How can I, make their experience better? I hope I'm not talking people out of real estate, because it is stressful. You do probably have to make sacrifices. It's really tough to make plans and to stick with them because you never know when people need you, especially in a hot market where, houses go in a couple of days, right? You just, at times like these, it is really important that you are available for your clients. The reward is just incredible. I mean, and I'm not talking about the commission or the pay or whatever, like that's great too, but I'm talking about the relationship and the gratitude that comes from, helping clients and helping people, the conversations that you're able to have, the people you're able to meet, the relationships that you build. I mean, yeah, there's really nothing like it. And I think, it's so powerful because, again, just like, I spoke about in the beginning, we're helping people through such an important time in their lives. Like, this is such an important milestone, whether they're buying, selling, leasing out their property. It's a huge deal. Every little bit of it is a huge deal, right? And so at the end of it, after you do a good job and you're with them obviously till the end, and when they move in or when they start their new chapter, whatever it is, like that feeling, it's seriously just irreplaceable. I think another great thing about real estate too is there's so many avenues. Like, you can do so much with it, right? People start their own podcasts, people start YouTube channels where like a more creative side of them comes out, which I think is so unique and important. And I do feel that that's the way the real estate has turned, right? You see funny real estate TikToks. I mean, it's endless, right? I'm sure there'll be something else, obviously next year and so on and so forth, right? People do Zoom webinars, and there's so many avenues from real estate. Like, real estate agents become developers, they become coaches. They go and they launch like maybe their own sales course or YouTube course or something that you're really, really good at. Like, the avenues are just endless. And I've seen so many people, start their new, I guess, business out of real estate. And I absolutely love that, right? I've only ate one pizza since this whole video. So much for a mukbang. And oh my God, it's funny. I'll share a story with you. So this was a couple years ago. I had a newer agent call me about a question, and I was talking to him, and I followed up with him the next morning, and he sounded so dead. And he's like, I didn't sleep at all last night. And I started laughing because I totally understood where he was coming from, because he was up thinking all night, replaying the process in his head, just thinking. And the thing is, you do that because you care, right? You do that because you want to do a good job. And so, again, I think I'm gonna wrap this up now because we're heading into, I don't know, the longest video that I've ever made. But again, real estate is definitely a mental game. Be prepared. This is just a glimpse of, what goes on in our heads, which is the most important, right? All the other stuff, you can do the showings, you can do the offers. I mean, that's like the physical stuff. Like, the mental stuff is really what you need to get control over, because if you can't control the mental stuff, you can't control the physical stuff, and then you can't do a good job for your clients, right? As you do more in the business and as you're in the business longer, you kind of get immune to it, right? You kind of get, used to like the processes and how to guide people and understand their feelings. I'll leave with this. I think also one of the main important things that I'm so grateful for is I've gotten to work with so many people, and really understand them, like really understand what they care about, what their personality type is, so that I can cater to them better, right? Because not everyone can be served the same way. You have to switch it up. And I just think that's so amazing. Some people need you to be a little bit more direct. Some people need you obviously to be a little bit more sensitive. It depends on the person that you're working with. And I love that. I love being able to adapt. I don't know. For me personally, I love working on myself, bettering myself in any way possible. And that's one of the things actually that I really just learned was the different personality types. So I don't know, maybe I'll make a YouTube video on that too, but which I think it's so important actually to know this, so that you can serve your clients better, and so that they do have, you know, a better, more smooth experience with you. And again, at the end of the day, the business, it comes with stress. Every job, every, you know, position will have its own stress. Again, it's really just getting your mind right. But you know, every job, every position will come with its own stress, right? And it's really just about the relationships. Like, that's the reward, you know, the people that you get to meet during the process. It's honestly life-changing to be in that moment afterwards with them. It's really incredible. So thank you guys for staying with me on this little vlog, or I wouldn't even call it a vlog, but just like this little chill talk. It wasn't really so much of a mukbang. Wasn't at all how I kind of envisioned it in my head, but obviously it's kind of hard to talk and eat, and I did want to provide you guys with obviously as much value as possible. If you guys like more videos like this, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to send this to someone that's thinking about getting into the business, or is a newer agent that you think would benefit from this, or if you learn anything new about real estate agents, comment below and share it with someone that you think could benefit. And I hope you guys have an incredible day. I'll see you next time.